A couple of other very important issues I just want to get your thoughts on, Prime Minister. By the time this goes to air, Australians will know a lot more of the shocking and confronting details about alleged war crimes in Afghanistan. What are your thoughts? What's your advice about the standing of the Australian Defence Forces in our country and around the world after all this is revealed, and also about the morale within our forces?
Well, they're very good questions. And first of all, I think that the high esteem in which we hold our Defence Forces is earned. It has been earned over more than a century, and that stands and firmly. And it stands for a number of reasons. The first of which is the obvious great acts of our Defence Forces over many, many years, and their selflessness and their service, and the choice that is made by serving men and women to pull on that uniform and to serve their country in the way they do. From that moment on, they have earned our respect, and their conduct beyond that in the overwhelming majority of the Defence Forces experience backs that up. The second point is this, Chris, and that is where things don't measure up to those standards as a country, and indeed as a Defence Force, we look seriously at those issues, take them seriously and deal with them seriously to uphold those standards. And the members of our Defence Forces, more than any other, would expect and want us to do that. So the very act of the Inspector General's report commissioned by the Chief of the Defence Force is consistent with that standard. And then I must say the action our government has taken in how we receive it, and that is to respect the rule of law in this country and our justice system. And that this report will be received, it will be provided to an office of a special investigator to pursue any matters that must be pursued and can be pursued under our rule of law, and that justice is indeed served. And these are the assurances that I've provided to the Afghan government, that this is the process that we will follow. We will take this very seriously, and we'll deal with it as Australians under the Australian rule of law. And the third point I'd make about this, and this is very important, Chris, for all those veterans out there, I want to assure you, and serving men and women as well, that this process doesn't just look at any particular events or acts, but it also looks at the environment and the sets of rules and other conditioning factors that were relevant here, because it's important that where alleged acts take place, then it's important that lessons are learned to ensure that they can't be repeated. And that's just not acts of individuals alone. That is the environment and sets of the environment and the conditions and the rules of engagement and other things that were relevant at the time as well. So I made that commitment over a week ago. I stand by it, both to protect the integrity of our Defence Forces, to protect Australia's integrity as a country that operates by the rule of law and a justice system that all Australians can have confidence in, and to ensure at an international level that we're a country that deals even with difficult news in the most appropriate way and consistent with our values. And that's why I think we can be proud of our Defence Forces and all those who've served.